All right, expenses down to the penny in a minute. First, I will say about that San Francisco trip, the one thing I would do differently is look into the bus schedule. I'm told they're not cable cars, even though they're like connected to cables above the street, but I would look into those because, you know, originally it wasn't like a ton of time. I feel like the things I wanted to do in the walking worked out well, timing-wise, and then the flight got delayed before I even left, 2 hours, and then while I was there, another 2 ultimately, and I wound up with like a lot of time looking to do things that I didn't plan on doing in places going places I didn't plan on going. So originally felt like the one long walk was between Alamo Square and Chinatown, and that was about it, and then had a lot more time on my hands. But I would look into that and be prepared with the schedule of the buses. But before I get into the expenses, first, a lot of shout outs. Been meeting a lot of people recently. Laurie, he's Canadian. He knows Bill Tate. Met him a bunch of days at Bally's. I was cashing out one day at Bellagio, and a guy was talking to me near the cage. He said I helped him understand how the reward system works in Bellagio, and because I gave him that info, he would subscribe. Also, there was a day someone just walked by me. I was playing at Caesar's Palace, walked by me to cash out, and said he liked the channel. Didn't get your name, but nice to meet you. At Venetian one day, I was playing in the 2 seat. In the 1 seat was Chad, who has been watching some of the videos. Same day I met Chad, I was cashing out, and someone was signing up for one of the tournaments, the bounty tournament at Venetian. Nice to meet you. You leave comments sometimes. Forgot your name. Alex, maybe? We met somewhere, and you said you were looking for me at Harrah's, which is weird. They don't have poker. I am there in the food court getting voucher drinks sometimes, and I stay there sometimes. You were thinking Sahara. Yeah, I do play at Sahara fairly regularly, but you were looking for me in Harrah's. But nice to meet you. I was walking through Aria one day with someone, and someone at the main cage, in line at the main cage, said you said something. You've been watching the videos, you knew who I was, so nice to meet you. Very brief, but nice to meet you. Also, there was a day we were like about to break at Caesar's Palace, and someone on his way to his table stopped and asked me if I were Rice or a poker vlogger, and I hope you were talking about me. Nice to meet you also. Danelle, played with him a bunch the last couple of years. Didn't know he was watching the videos, but he is, and he told the guy on his right about the videos, Robert from Scotland, who is always drunk. It's just a requirement if you live in Scotland. Also at the table, Greg and Anthony. Anthony was aware of the videos, and then when he was talking about it, Greg became aware. Greg from Arizona. Last couple, I was playing on table 5 at Bally's, which is kind of close to table 2. Someone on table 2 walked by and said, like, are you a poker vlogger? Hope you were talking about me. Nice to meet you. And lastly, Ricardo el amigo de Ricardo, o el hermano de Ricardo, estamos en mesa número 1 and Bally's, horseshoe, and Ricardo y el hermano de Ricardo, ellos son de Costa Rica. Nice to meet you guys. All right, so with MGM behind me, it's a nice view. All of the bills, everything it cost to make that San Francisco trip happen. So the items were, I printed 1 boarding pass going one way. There was also the plane ticket. There was all of the food. There was the transportation once I was there, the BART, Bay Area Rapid Transit, the trains, parking at the airport. So those 5 things. All right, now let's switch it over and actually give you amounts. Okay, the printing the boarding pass was 22 cents. It was kind of a backup, wasn't necessary. I ended up not using it, but I did print it and did pay for it. The flight, what was it, 57 and change? The exact amount is on the screen. That's originally why I booked the trip. I saw a very cheap flight and $30 each way, even cheaper than that. Awesome. Go to San Francisco, hang out for the day, come back, all on $60 of air travel. The food was, give me 1 second, there's a lot of helicopters over here. It was a total of $21.60. The hummus and the bread at the farmer's market totaled $18. Then I bought an ice cream at Burger King so I could use the bathroom. That was $1.51. And I got a water at a gas station while I was walking. That was $2.09. Parking at the airport, long-term parking, the 1 day maximum is $18. That's what I paid. And I loaded $16 more onto my Clipper card to ride the trains once I was in San Francisco. So that means grand total of $113.78. Pretty good. Last year in Oakland, I didn't really plan it far enough in advance as far as I wanted to, and I spent like over $400. I remember the Denver trip was better. It was $40 each way for the flight. The ticket to the game was in the 20s. Did spend over, see how good my memory is. I think it was $56.71. I'll put the amount on the bottom of the screen. I think it was $56.71 I spent at Post Oak Barbecue having lunch. But anyway, the Denver trip last year was way better cost-wise than the Oakland trip, and this one was also pretty good too. $113.78 as I walk back to my car. So yeah, I do have another trip coming up that is booked, and another one that it's not booked yet, but it's pretty close. So look forward to those. One is not for poker, one definitely is for poker. And remember, rice is a spoon food.